Nate, have you seen that Tulip Siddiq, or is it Siddiqui, MP, Labour MP, has been convicted in Bangladesh and sentenced to like 2 years and a fine of like 500 or 600 quid?
I have, and this is my best. This is my favourite kind of news. What a clown show!
Nice underbite, by the way, love. Nice inbred underbite there.
Oof.
Too much? If I said too much, hope not hate. Is that? Have I just done a racist? Look at this little troll fuck. Look at it. That whole family seemed to be a pack of wrong'uns all the way down. Like totally corrupt wrong'uns. Although one thing I will say about this, to be fair, because I do like to, obviously I'm partisan, everyone's partisan to some degree, right? I will say though, in the interest of actual fairness, it does seem that the process against her is like complete bullshit.
Oh yeah,
I would have thought she is probably guilty of various things, something or other. I find it hard not to believe that, but nonetheless, the process against her is bullshit. But anyway, let's get into it a little bit then. So, if anyone remembers, we did a video, didn't we, on this channel? Not that long ago, was it? A few days, a week or so ago, about her aunt. I think it's her aunt who used to be the prime minister of Bangladesh. What was her name? Sheikh Hasina. Right. So, just a very super quick recap on that. She was in charge of the government when the military or the armed police broke up protests and killed something to the tune of 1,400 people and wounded many more protesters against the government, and then had to flee the country. Ultimately, her government fell. She had to flee the country, and the government that took over, I think it's more like a military government, took over, and in her absence, sentenced her to death for crimes against humanity, I believe it was. Okay, so there's that. Now, on top of it, this same new regime in Bangladesh, have also gone after many of her supporters, that Sheikh Hasina, her supporters, and her family. Like a lawfare thing, whether fairly or not. I mean, it seems pretty unfair, but anyway, there you go. That's the way the cookie crumbles, right? I mean, Bangladesh is a dog shit country, isn't it? It's a shithole country. So there's that to begin with. That's the foundation you're working with. And they've got a new shaky government who don't seem particularly interested in due process or anything like that. So that's what you get. And it does seem that there's not really any doubt that the ex-prime minister, Sheikh Hasina, is responsible for the thing she was sentenced for. So on top of that, then they've gone after all sorts of her political allies and friends and her family, and the allegations are against Tulip is that she was actually sort of advising Sheikh Hasina on some level, and therefore shares some of the responsibility, and that there's and on top of that, some sort of, I mean, all the details are sort of a little bit opaque, but there was some sort of property deal for some sort of house in the suburbs, I believe, of Dhaka. A plot of land in and around Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, that it was going to, that Siddiq, Tulip Siddiq and her mother, I guess that's the Prime Minister's sister, perhaps, and her brother, they got given in some way, in some underhand way, some unfair, fraudulent way. So these are the allegations against her. And she was tried in her absence, found guilty, sentenced to, I think, 2 years and a fine of something in the order of 500, 600, 700 quid, something like that. And if she doesn't pay that fine, they'll throw another 6 months on this sentence. Okay, so that happened. So they're the facts, just the facts. That's where we are. So before I go on to, talk about her response, what do you think of that? What your thoughts and feelings on that?
Oh, you love to see it, don't you? You love to see it.
It's funny, yeah.
You love to see it. I'm pretty certain she was like the minister for fraud or corruption or something like that, and then got done for corruption. I'm pretty certain she was the minister for that of some description. But yeah, I mean, it's you just minister for anti-corruption. Oh god, that's so
the
funny.
irony.
That's so well. There was a whole bunch of Labour MPs that were ministers for certain things and then got screwed in those things, and it was just so comical. It's like the minister for housing, Angela Rayner, got done for screwing tax over for housing. Like, so comical.
Yeah.
Oh
well, just quickly slide for our viewers then, just to add real quick that she was actually in Starmer's government, a junior minister, and earlier at the beginning of this year, almost straight away into the Starmer government, was disgraced, and there was a scandal, and Starmer had to relieve her of her junior ministerial office. So there's that as well on top of all of this. Sorry, go on.
So funny.
Yeah.
You love to see it. You just love to see it. I've got no love for Tulip, Siddiq and her family or Bangladesh. I don't care. She shouldn't be an MP. It's mad that we allow foreigners to be members of parliament or parliamentarians. It's insane. Like, it's a radical position for a country to take, to allow foreign people to have power over to have power over us. That's a radical position. It's normal in pretty much most parts of the entire planet that doesn't happen. The exact opposite of that happens, and we allow it. So to see her go down like this, yeah, fine. I don't care. I'm not whatever. This is a foreigner getting ousted by foreign lands in foreign courts for foreign shit.
Yeah.
So just go back there. Like, we don't want you
here. Yeah. You're in the wrong country, love. You're in the wrong country. So she said that she feels like she's in some sort of Kafka-esque nightmare. I doubt she knows anything about Kafka. I doubt she's read any Kafka. That's just a phrase she's heard. Anyway, so we don't have an extradition treaty with Bangladesh.
That's racist. We should have one.
Yeah, right.
Why don't we? We should have one. That's a racism, I think.
We should. I would absolutely love to have a deal with Bangladesh where we can send Bangladeshis back to Bangladesh. Ugh. We absolutely need one of those. As it stands at the moment, we don't have one. So the bottom line is Bangladesh can't force the British authorities or force Tulip herself to return to Bangladesh. There's nothing compelling her to. Now, if the British authorities, if the actual British police or Home Office really wanted to detain her and send her back from our side, if you like, they could do that. But they've made it clear they've got no intention of doing that. Of course, it's a Labour government. Of course, they wouldn't. Of course, they wouldn't. And as you can imagine, she's got all sorts of relatively powerful people and voices, lawyers and things on her side, including no less than Sherry Blair, who's actually a powerful human rights lawyer in her own right. Robert Buckland is actually a Tory, but a relatively important person of standing in sort of the law establishment. Various people across the board in Britain saying this is all nonsense, not necessarily the actual charges, but the idea that we will send her back to Bangladesh to face justice. It's just not on the cards. It's just not on the table.
Of course it's not. Of course, why would we?
They've said there's various statements from various people, including Tulip herself, saying that this is all like we don't recognize the new regime, let alone the sort of crappy process they went through to try us, which is actually, as I said at the beginning, fair enough. That is actually true. I mean, I suspect if there was a full, proper, Western style investigation, i.e., an actual investigative process, I would suspect that family would be found to have done all sorts of things wrong and fraudulent. But nonetheless, that's not what the new Bangladeshi regime has done. They have sort of just, it seems to be, from what I've read in 2 or 3 different websites, they have just totally rushed it through. It's just like, you know, almost extrajudicial. The tiniest amount of sort of a veneer of due process smeared over the top of on quite obviously politically motivated process. So I mean, they're not entirely wrong to say that this is kind of bullshit and unfair, but there you go, that's what's happened. One way or another, the whole thing is an absolute embarrassment. I mean, could it get more of a sort of dirty story? I mean, trust the Bangladeshis to be mired in corruption, whether legit or not, and it be dirty. Yeah, yeah. No shit. Well, there it is.
You'll love to see it.